All right, time for some more Penn State, Michigan talk here, James. This, of course, is a massive game this week. We'll start with some series history. For starters, Michigan leads the all-time series. They've won 3 straight. And then at one point, they actually won 9 straight against Penn State from 97 to 07.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, this was 97, 98, 99, and then a couple of those years like 2005, Penn State was in the top 5 or 6 in the country for at least 3 of those, maybe 4 of those 9 victories. And Lloyd Carr, I mean, it was all him. He dominated that series against Joe Paterno. Paterno was coach for every single one of those 9 losses. Imagine in this day and age, imagine if Lloyd, just to say, I don't know, Kirby Smart loses 9 straight games to Florida, or James Franklin loses 9 straight to Penn State. People would freak out after 3 or 4 losses, and so that's just incredible. And during this time frame, Paterno became the ultimate all-time leading game winner in college football history.
We're going to get to some keys of the game here. We are also going to have score predictions, so folks, get yours in the comments now. We're going to start, though, with some keys to the game. And at number 1, James, I think this one's very obvious. Stop Saquon Barkley for the 3rd straight year.
Yeah, I think people were starting to get on the Saquon Barkley hype train last year before this game, and Michigan had 5 running backs that looked better than him. Now, they weren't going against their own defense, but Barkley, he has not been able to get anything going against Michigan for 2 straight years, 50-ish yards, really shut down in the first half last year. I think he maybe had 1 yard in the first half, and by the time he got any yards, the game was over. So got to stop Barkley. If you do, you got a really good chance of winning.
I'll say this with Barkley, he's looked different this year. He looks more explosive and more agile than he was last year. We've also seen some teams have a little bit of success bottling him up. He went off against Iowa with some great plays. Indiana did a good job of stopping him on the ground, but he was good on special teams and in the receiving game. Northwestern, outside of one big play, they shut down Barkley in that game, but I think that's also the concern. If Barkley gets one crease, if you lose focus for a second, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, he's a lot faster than he was last year. I do agree with that. And they're getting him involved in the passing game, getting him involved on where he came on a kickoff return out of nowhere a few weeks ago. And so more to worry about this year when it comes to his versatility.
Mm-hmm. All right, second key to the game here, no turnovers. And then I added this part, James. I'm looking at you, O'Korn.
Not just O'Korn, Tom, but it's the running backs too. They finally cleaned it up last week, but prior to that, they've been fumbling multiple times every single game. So if Michigan has 2 turnovers, if they have 2 turnovers, they will not keep it within 14 points. That's all we can say. So just think of yourself: 2 turnovers, game's over. Just turn off the TV and go outside.
This is one of those games where if Michigan doesn't win the turnover battle, I don't really know how they can eke out a win.
It would be impossible.
So that's your second key to the game there, no turnovers. We'll head now to our third key to the game, and James, this has kind of been the case of late, especially with the tight ends. Get them and the halfbacks involved in the passing game.
And I don't know why they haven't, Tom. I wonder if Pep Hamilton, coming in from 4 or 5 years, 6 years in the NFL with the Colts and Browns, if he has been like brainwashed to NFL passing trees, and those don't include maybe running backs as most. But Michigan has always been a throw to your running back school, and they've just gotten away from that recently. I don't like it at all, and they're not throwing to the tight ends anymore except for a couple plays. But the receivers can't get open. O'Korn can't throw the ball on field, so if they don't get involved, there is no passing game if they don't get the tight ends and running backs involved.
And then one more key to the game before we get into some predictions. The offensive line plays like they did against Indiana. That'd be great, James.
Be phenomenal, Tom, and you got to think the entire focus of this week in practice, I would say they're probably separating O'Korn, and they're just having somebody hand the ball off to running back. But I think it is focusing on the offensive linemen, getting pushed for the running backs, getting that second level sliding off and hitting a linebacker to get an extra couple yards for that back. O'Korn, he needs to be practicing on being able to throw the ball 5 yards. He doesn't need to worry about handing the ball off. So they can put a third stringer in for that, but it's going to be tough to win this game if you don't run the ball.
So those are your keys of the game, folks. Stopping Barkley, no turnovers, get the tight ends and the RBs involved in the passing game, and have the offensive line play like they did against Indiana. Once again,
Tom,
folks,
I think you need to get McDonald's involved in the game. They need to get Taco Bell involved in the running game. You'll get the runs with Taco Bell, but Arby's as well. Get the Arby's involved.
I realize now where you're going with that. That's funny. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Once again, I'm Tom Downey. The guy with the jokes is James Yoder. Hit him up on Twitter at James T. Yoder. He's the Michigan football insider. I'm on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. Today's show is presented by Game Time, the #1 app if you need last-minute sports or concert tickets. If you need a college football ticket this week, head over to chatsports.com/tickets. Get the Game Time app. It's the best way to go.
Get the Game Time app. Get to the next Michigan game. You'll find cheap ticket against Rutgers next week, especially if Michigan loses this week to Penn State. So get them through Game Time.
All right, guys. Score predictions. Get them going in the comment section here. We're going to bring some up on screen throughout the show. We'll start with James. We'll do the -1 first, I guess. Because Michigan has a really bad offense right now, I don't think they're going to be able to pull off the upset on the road. I'll take Penn State winning 17-10. But that does mean that they cover the spread.
Ooh, Tom, that's a big spread. I don't know what to make of that. But I guess Penn State is number 2. Michigan doesn't look like they can score, but I think Michigan has a better chance than the scribes and the pundits and the analysts will tell you out there. And there's a couple reasons for it. One, I think Michigan has a absurdly giant coaching advantage in this game. I don't think James Franklin is all he's built up to be. I think there's been a little bit of getting luck in the bottle, kind of like, I don't know what that kind of phrase is, but you get lightning in a bottle with Saquon Barkley and getting good play out of McSorley. I think he's an 8-4 coach. I don't think he's as good as maybe the record would indicate over the last 15 games. His last 2 big losses at Penn State, the last game they lost in the regular season last year to Michigan, 49-10. Last home game they lost, 2015, also to Michigan, I believe it was 28-16, but I can double check that one. I think Michigan comes out with a game plan to run the ball, Tom, and I think they will go to those tight ends, maybe get the RBs involved, as you say. I got Michigan win this one, Tom. You're going to call me crazy. 10-6 Michigan.
You're a little bit crazy there, James.
No touchdowns to Penn State. And by the way, I don't think Michigan's offense scores that touchdown. I think it's a special teams or defensive touchdown.
So you think it's going to be all defense. I will say this on this game.
No offensive touchdowns being played, Tom. No offensive touchdowns. Michigan's got the best yardage defense in the country. Penn State's got the best scoring defense in the country, and neither one of them are that good on offense in the rankings and the charts. So it's not like they're going to light up the scoreboard. I think it's going to be a 10-6 game. People are going to look at Twitter tomorrow during this game, and it's basically people are going to be saying like this game has set football back 60 years to 1951. It's going to be so terrible on offense, but I think Michigan's got the better defense, and that's why they get the win.
I saw some comments in there agreeing with you. Defensive touchdown, just how Michigan wins. I saw 2 different 17-13 wins for Michigan. But that is all the time we have for today. James, thank you for stopping by. Again, folks, follow him on Twitter at James T. Yoder. I'm at WhatGoingDowney. If you guys missed anything, don't worry. We're going to play it all again here for you so you guys can loop it and watch it. There's a little Harbaugh clip coming up here as well once we wrap up. So for James T. Yoder, producer Lena Bond, I am Tom Downey. You guys stay classy out there.
Get that podcast.